Have you ever wondered why stress makes your heart pound, or why it causes your palms to sweat? This is not some random physiological quirk, it's a part of an intricate, fascinating response that your body has perfected over millennia of evolution. It's called stress, and it's a lot more than just a buzzword tossed around in today's fast-paced society. Stress, in its essence, is a biological response. It's the body's way of reacting to threats or challenges, preparing us for fight or flight. When our ancestors faced a predator, stress was the alarm bell that set everything in motion, from the adrenaline rush to the heightened senses. However, in our modern world, stress triggers are less about life-threatening dangers and more about deadlines, traffic jams, and social pressures. And while the body's stress response remains the same, the context has drastically changed. This is where we find ourselves today, caught in the crossfire between an age-old biological response and a world that's moving faster than ever. Now, stress isn't inherently bad. In fact, what we often call stress is actually acute stress, a short-term response to immediate threats. This kind of stress can provide us with a burst of energy, help us focus, and even enhance our performance. It's like a shot of espresso for the body and mind, pushing us to act when action is needed. But here's the catch. When stress becomes chronic, when it's a constant companion rather than an occasional visitor, things start to go south. Chronic stress, the kind that lingers for weeks or months, can wreak havoc on our bodies and minds. It can disrupt nearly every system in our bodies, leading to a host of health problems from heart disease to depression. So we find ourselves grappling with a paradox. Stress, a mechanism designed to protect us, has become a silent threat in itself, lurking in the shadows of our lives, often unrecognized and unaddressed. Now that we've piqued your curiosity, let's delve deeper into the science of stress. As we peel back the layers, we'll explore how stress affects our bodies and minds, and most importantly, what we can do about it. Stay tuned as we embark on this enlightening journey into the world of stress. So what is stress really, and how does it work within our body and mind? Stress, in its simplest form, is our body's response to a challenge or demand. It's a survival mechanism that's been with us since our caveman days, designed to protect us from threats. This is often referred to as the fight or flight response. You see, when we perceive a threat, our body springs into action in an amazing show of biological coordination. The star players in this process are two hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline, also known as the emergency hormone, kicks in first, increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and energy supplies, readying us for immediate action. Next up, we have cortisol, the stress hormone. It takes a bit longer to show up, but when it does, it curbs functions that would be non-essential in a fight or flight situation, like the immune response and digestion. It also enhances the body's ability to repair tissues and dampens the inflammatory response, all while ensuring that the body has a constant supply of glucose to fuel the fight or flight response. But how does the body coordinate this intricate dance of hormones? Enter the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, or HPA axis. The HPA axis is a complex system of interactions between the hypothalamus and pituitary gland in the brain and the adrenal glands in the body. When a stressor is perceived, the hypothalamus sends a signal to the pituitary gland, which then sends a signal to the adrenal glands to release cortisol. It's like a biological game of telephone. But here's the thing, while this system is incredibly effective in responding to immediate threats, it's not designed for long-term use. Chronic stress can lead to an overactive HPA axis, with the body continually pumping out cortisol. This can have a range of negative effects on both the body and the mind, from heart disease and diabetes to anxiety and depression. Armed with this knowledge, we can now explore the effects of stress on our body and mind. Stress can manifest physically in a myriad of ways, but how exactly does it impact our bodies? This question is crucial to understanding the breadth and depth of stress's influence on our health and well-being. Let's embark on an exploration of the human body under stress, beginning with the cardiovascular system. When we experience stress, our bodies respond by releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones prepare our bodies for a fight or flight response, causing our hearts to beat faster, blood pressure to rise, and blood vessels to narrow. Over time, this increased cardiovascular strain can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and even stroke. The digestive system is another area of the body significantly affected by stress. Under stress, our bodies can alter the nutrient absorption, enzyme output, and the rate at which food moves through the system. This can lead to a variety of digestive issues, including acid reflux, ulcers, and even irritable bowel syndrome. Moreover, stress can also stimulate the liver to produce more glucose for an energy boost, which, if prolonged, can increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Stress does not spare the immune system either. Initially, stress can boost the immune system, preparing it for potential injury or infection. However, chronic stress can weaken the immune system, reducing its ability to fight off antigens and making us more susceptible to infections and diseases. It can also prolong the recovery time from illness or injury. Lastly, let's discuss the nervous system. This is the system that triggers our initial response to stress, releasing stress hormones to prepare the body to respond. However, when this system is continuously activated due to chronic stress, it can lead to other health problems. These include insomnia, headaches, and in some cases can even contribute to mental health conditions like depression and anxiety. It is also important to note that these systems do not operate in isolation. They are intricately interconnected, and stress on one can lead to issues in another. For instance, prolonged cardiovascular strain can impact the nervous system, leading to anxiety, which in turn can exacerbate heart conditions. So it's clear that stress's physical manifestations are not just limited to a pounding heart or a churning stomach. They reach far deeper, affecting crucial systems that keep us healthy and functioning. Prolonged stress can lead to serious health issues like heart disease, digestive problems, a weakened immune system, and a host of nervous system disorders. Clearly, the physical impacts of stress are far-reaching, but what about its effects on our minds? Let's delve into that in our next segment. Just as our bodies bear the brunt of stress, so too do our minds, but in what ways? Indeed, the effects of stress on our mental health are profound and wide-ranging. Let's delve deeper into this fascinating subject. When stress knocks at the door, our minds can become a whirlwind of worry and fear. This heightened state of alertness can lead to anxiety, a condition that affects millions of people worldwide. Anxiety manifests itself in many ways, from a constant sense of dread to a racing heart, sweaty palms, and an inability to concentrate. However, stress doesn't stop at anxiety. It can also be a significant contributor to depression, a serious mental health condition that affects mood, energy levels, and overall enjoyment of life. Chronic stress can lead to feelings of helplessness and hopelessness, a hallmark of depressive disorders. It's like being stuck in a never-ending cycle, where stress feeds depression and depression amplifies stress, but that's not all. Stress also has a direct effect on our cognitive functions, including memory and concentration. Ever forgotten where you left your keys during a stressful week? Or found it hard to focus on a task at hand because your mind is elsewhere? That's stress, subtly eroding your cognitive abilities. Here's how it works. When we're stressed, our body releases cortisol, a hormone that helps us respond to immediate threats. This is part of our fight or flight response, which is fantastic when we're facing an immediate danger. However, when stress becomes chronic, our bodies are constantly flooded with cortisol. And that's where the problems start. Excess cortisol can impair our brain's ability to form new memories and retrieve old ones. It can also hamper our ability to concentrate, making it harder to focus on tasks, absorb new information, or even make sound decisions. But why does this happen? Well, chronic stress can actually change the structure and function of the brain. It can shrink the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning, and increase the size of the amygdala, which controls our fear response. These changes can lead to a vicious cycle where stress perpetuates more stress, trapping us in a state of constant worry and fear. Just to add a cherry on top, stress can also affect our sleep. When we're stressed, we may find it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep, which can further exacerbate our mental health issues. Lack of sleep can lead to impaired cognitive function, mood swings, and even more stress. Stress clearly leaves no stone unturned, affecting both our bodies and minds. So, what can we do about it? Well, stay tuned, because in the next scene we'll discuss some effective strategies for managing stress, helping us to regain control over our bodies and minds. Because remember, while stress is a part of life, it doesn't have to control it. Stress might seem like an insurmountable challenge, but there are ways to manage it effectively. It's all about understanding what works for you and implementing it into your daily routine. Let's dive into some of these techniques. First off, let's talk about mindfulness. This isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment, fully aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. It's about acknowledging the world around you and your place in it. Practicing mindfulness has been scientifically proven to reduce stress and improve mental well-being. You can incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine through meditation, yoga, or simply taking a few moments each day to focus on your breathing. Now, let's move on to exercise. It's no secret that physical activity is good for us, but did you know it can help manage stress too? Exercise releases endorphins, chemicals in the brain that act as natural painkillers and mood elevators. It doesn't have to be a strenuous workout. Even a brisk walk around the block can do wonders for your stress levels. Proper nutrition is another key to managing stress. Our bodies need a variety of nutrients to function optimally, and when we're stressed, we often neglect this. Consuming a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can help ensure our bodies are well equipped to handle stress. It's also beneficial to limit the intake of caffeine and sugar, which can exacerbate stress levels. Adequate sleep is also crucial in managing stress. When we're stressed, our sleep often suffers, and this can create a vicious cycle. Lack of sleep can increase stress levels, and high stress levels can make it difficult to sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Establish a relaxing bedtime routine and create a sleep-friendly environment to help improve your sleep quality. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of social connection in managing stress. Reach out to friends and family, join a club or group, or volunteer in your community. Being connected to others can provide a sense of belonging and self-worth, which can help you in times of stress. Remember, everyone experiences stress differently, and what works for one person may not work for another. It's important to experiment with different techniques to find what works best for you, and remember, it's okay to ask for help. If you're feeling overwhelmed by stress, reach out to a healthcare professional. By understanding and implementing these techniques, we can take control of stress rather than letting it control us. We've learned a lot today about the complex world of stress and its effects on our body and mind. Isn't it fascinating how stress, a seemingly intangible concept, can have such profound impacts on us, both physically and mentally? Let's quickly recap the fascinating journey we've embarked on today. We started by unraveling the intrigue of stress, peeling back the layers to understand how this common yet often misunderstood phenomenon works. We delved into the science behind stress, exploring how it's not merely a state of mind, but a complex physiological response involving a cascade of hormones and neurotransmitters. We then ventured into the realm of the body, witnessing firsthand the domino effect of stress. From speeding up our heart rate to slowing down our digestion, stress can truly turn our bodies into a battlefield, but it doesn't stop there. The mind too bears the brunt of stress. It can cloud our thinking, stir up anxiety, or even lead to depression. Stress, as we've seen, is a formidable opponent, but all is not lost. We also discussed the various ways to manage stress. Remember, it's not about eradicating stress completely. That's neither possible nor desirable. Stress in small doses can actually be beneficial. It can keep us alert, help us perform under pressure, and even motivate us to do our best. The key is to keep it under control, to prevent it from spiraling into chronic stress, which is detrimental to our health. We discussed a range of stress management techniques, from deep breathing and meditation to regular exercise and a healthy diet. These methods, backed by science, can help us maintain a balance, ensuring that stress serves as a helpful ally rather than a destructive enemy. Remember, stress is a part of life, but it doesn't have to rule your life. By understanding the science behind it, you can equip yourself with the tools to manage it effectively. So let's embrace stress, understand it, manage it, and use it to our advantage. After all, it's all a part of the beautiful complexity that is the human experience.